And now I'm delighted to introduce to you a person who I have great respect for, our commencement speaker, Mr. Roe Stamps IV. He's an investor, a philanthropist whose career reflects a lifelong commitment to education, leadership, and community service. A co-founder of the private investment firm Summit Partners, Mr. Stamps has combined professional success with a deep dedication to advance the educational opportunity and strengthening the institutions that he serves. Roe and his wife Penny have been involved in a wide range of philanthropic endeavors, particularly in the area of education, health, and community support. In 1986, they formalized their philanthropy through a foundation through which they funded scholarships and educational initiatives at more than 40 institutions nationwide, including our great University, Ohio State. Their most far-reaching impact has come through the Stamps Scholars Program, an innovative merit-based scholarship initiative that supports nearly 1,400 high-achieving students across the United States, providing not only financial support, but also leadership development and enrichment opportunities. Nearly 295 Stamps scholars are graduating this spring across their partner institutions, including some right here at Ohio State. Roe and Penny understood deeply the transformative power that education can have in a person's life, and they have been generous, visionary partners in advancing the academic excellence of our university. We are so grateful that for all that Roe has done to help build a culture of excellence at Ohio State that we're all striving for. His leadership and service are a model to all of us, and I'm looking forward to his words of wisdom today. With that, graduates and guests, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Roe Stamps IV.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for that warm introduction. I can tell you that this is absolutely awesome. I can see why visiting teams never win here. What an awesome setting for the incredible class of 2026. I'd like to be the first to offer my congratulations to this wonderful group of young men and women. I'm sure you're going to do great. But before we get too far along, it's Mother's Day. And I know there's some very proud moms out in the audience, as well as other teammates who helped this graduating class get to where you are. So if you will, graduating class, please rise and give your teammates the rousing level of applause that they so richly deserve. Thank you so much. So some time ago, I was preparing for one of these speeches, and I asked a good friend, what's the trick? What's the trick to a good commencement address? And she said, it's really simple. You gotta be funny, and you gotta be short. And as I thought about that sage advice, and for those of you who know my good friend Donna Shalala, university president, congresswoman, cabinet member, she's basically done it all. It's really easy for her because she's funny and she's short. So I then did what all good Buckeyes would do. I said, well, all right, I'll ask two of my favorite advisors, Chet and Claude. I'll ask them the same question, what's the trick here? And they said, you gotta be funny and you gotta be short. So in that spirit, I decided to boil everything I've learned in this very long life of mine down to 4 key life's lessons, some of which I've learned the hard way, some of which I've learned the easy way. The first of those lessons, I would ask that you reflect on where you are in your lives. And I hope you'll agree with me that you're building the foundation for the rest of your lives. and you hope for those lives to be well lived. So how do you do that? You don't want this to be the last of your great victories. You want to keep doing great things with your life. I would suggest first that you be prepared to work really, really hard. Why not? You've got the time, you've got the youth, you've got the energy, you've got the enthusiasm, you've got it all. So why not work really, really hard? Secondly, I'd recommend that you figure out how to make good decisions and avoid bad ones. When it comes to bad decisions, I can tell you that the era when we could do really stupid things and get away with them, that was my generation's era, but I don't think it's yours. Because if you do some of the dumb stuff we did, you probably won't get away with it. And you'll probably have an electronic record for all to behold forever and ever of all the dumb things that you really do. That's the bad side of things. As regards good decisions, I have a pretty simple approach, seems to work for me, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. Whenever I approach a decision of any importance to me, I'll ask a simple question. What am I trying to accomplish here? What are my goals, and does this decision help me get there, or does it hinder my progress? And it strikes me that the answer to that simple question can help you make better life decisions. And then the third point on building that foundation is keep investing in yourselves financially and educationally. You're taking a great step today educationally, but the world's changing. Lots and lots of developments, technological, societal, plenty of different things are happening, and I'd recommend that you keep on top of those changes. You stay ahead of them, in fact. As far as financially, I would say whenever you enter the workforce, take a piece of every paycheck and invest it. Invest it wisely, invest it for the long term, and leave it there. And you'll find out over terms what that enables you to do is develop a net worth. My second key life's lesson is to figure life out sooner versus later. Some years ago, I was being honored on another campus. Some friends of mine came along to have some fun at my expense. One of them stood and said to great gales of laughter, he said, you know, this wonderful event is proof positive that C students rule the world. And as I say, he got great gales of laughter when he made that observation. I was wondering, how did he know? I never told him I was a C student, but he knew somehow. So my point is that the reason that C students rule the world, when I got a chance to make my remarks, my point was that it's not that we have such great social graces, it's just the odds are in our favor. There's so many of us. So my point here isn't to tell you not to be a C student, because I assume some of you have already earned that distinction. But even if you're a C student or even a B student or an A student, I think in the future you'll have to encounter some decision makers, and you'll have to convince them that you've figured life out, that the days of college are behind you, that you're ready to take on new responsibilities, and you're ready to add value to whatever their efforts might be. So make sure that you're able to make that case. Start now, figure life out. My third point, join a winning team. Right here on this playing field, you've seen what incredible success Coach Day's Buckeyes have had year after year. Now, clearly they bring great talent to Columbus. They have fabulous coaching, incomparable place to play, awesome tradition. They've got it all, but I think the reason they're so successful is that they've been able to mold all those elements into a team that's totally dedicated to excellence and to success. So join that team and contribute to its success. Hopefully you can become a team leader. I used to tell young people joining my firm, one major difference between this firm and plenty of others that you'll encounter, one major difference is that everybody here wants you to succeed. Everybody here knows that it's a team effort. Everybody here knows that if you succeed, we succeed. There's not a skinny little funnel that if I make it through there, you might not be able to make it. So join that team. Hopefully it's a winning team. Hopefully you can contribute to the success. Hopefully you can become a team leader. But I think you'll find out what you can accomplish if you're a good teammate and team leader. My last life's lesson is to recommend that you protect and safeguard your most valuable asset. Some years ago, I was taking my daughter off to be a freshman in college, and I was swollen with pride at the person she had become and the person she was becoming. And I told her, as I would tell all of you graduating seniors here, I would trade places with you in a heartbeat. My daughter looked at me and asked, why? Why would you do that? You've come so far, you've accomplished so much. And it's the answer to that simple question, I think, that defines your most valuable asset. It's your future. It's an asset that my daughter and all of you have a lot more of than I have. I'm running a little low. You have an indefinite runway ahead of you. The good thing about your future is that there's lots of it. You have a lot of time to do a lot of great things, and I hope you will do exactly that. But the bad thing about assets like that is that they're perishable. Your future needs protection. It needs safeguarding. It needs for you to work really hard and make good decisions and avoid bad ones. Your future needs for you to invest in yourselves, both financially and educationally, for you to figure life out and prove it to those who you have to prove it to, and for you to join and contribute to a winning team. So I think that your future is your most valuable asset. I would recommend that you safeguard it very, very carefully going forward. Now, those are my 4 key life lessons, and if you have another couple of minutes, I'll have a little fun. I have a challenge for our graduating seniors, and I'll need some audience participation in the process. Some years ago, I became a trustee of my alma mater's foundation, and I read a really interesting article that changed my view of great universities and their alumni. And the article asks a simple question: who owns this university? The answer there was the state, just as the answer here. The state owns this university. But that really wasn't the answer they were seeking. They argued, quite successfully in my case, they argued that the real owners of a great university are its alumni, because they have the most to gain from the successes, the most to lose from the failures of that university. So they argued that the alumni are the true owners of a university. A famous writer once famously wrote, "Nobody washes a rental car." True, right? So my sense along those lines is that if you treat this great university like we all treat our rental cars, you just came here, you spent a little time, you paid a little rent, you moved on, you didn't look back, I think your impact is likely to be relatively modest. On the other hand, if you say, I own this university, I'm an alumnus and a proud one, I can contribute to this university either with my time, my wisdom, and my experiences, perhaps with my money. I can make this university better. I think if you do that, you can have a huge impact on this great university. So here's where the audience participation comes in. I'll ask you the same question. The same question. The class of 2026, who owns this university? And I hope you'll answer in as loud a voice as you find comfortable. We do. Let's give it a try. Who owns this university? That was pretty good, but I'm sure you can do better. Who owns this great university? That was much better. Maybe one last time so everybody here gets the message. Who owns the Ohio State University? Thank you very much. Mr. President, I'm pleased to introduce you to the new owners of Ohio State University, class of 2026. Go Bucks!